I wish you'd said that when Craig was on. That's how it's supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be Post Malone to be?
No, I think it's the title of a song, right? I don't know who the singers are.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it definitely is, right?
Am I missing a reference from our Ute?
No, it's like we weren't youths anymore. We weren't youths.
Two youths, Your Honor.
Oh,
Yeah.
this would not have been up my my alley. Omarion, Chris Brown, not my go-to.
Yeah. I heard it on the radio somewhat recently. That's how it got in my head.
Well, we can leave that one alone, thanks to the artists involved.
I think the woman in it is pretty good.
Janae?
Yeah, I think it's Janae, yeah.
Yeah, that's just a funny Janae spelling, I think. Not funny, like haha funny, like unseen by me before.
Yeah, it's definitely Janae, right? Yeah.
It's gotta be.
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. Oh my god. He did it. He stuck the landing. Episode over.
What episode is it?
471 is the current episode number. And while things are off the rails completely, let's just get going with how off the rails Rantasy Football got this week. Do we want to start with it this week?
Yeah, sure.
Switch it up.
I mean, last week we ended with it, and I feel like we got rushed. But this way, we will be rushed in a better way. Like, we got other stuff to talk about, so we can be efficient.
Here's what's important. Andy, were you cut?
I have to tell you a very funny story. Do you want the TLDR or do you want the funny story?
I don't know. Are you making this into content, or are you trying to?
This is actually a funny story.
All right. Monday Night Football. In the guillotine, I am down. And in the non-guillotine, I am up. As Mr. Swift, our recommendation for our team. I'm going to call it our team from now on. You guys have been helping me so much stay alive in the Guillotine League with our tête-à-tête-à-tête. Wow.
Mano.
It's a Mexican-American standoff.
Apropos.
Touche.
Mr. Swift was our pickup last week for this team, and it did work out, despite not getting other players and barely missing them, like Josh Allen and a few others. We did get Swift for probably too much money, but as it turns out, maybe just enough money. As Monday night developed, I slowly saw my score creep up in the guillotine and down in the regular as Swift was playing against my regular team.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's always a tough situation, right? When you need him to score for you, but you're playing against him on a different team.
Yeah. I mean, there's money on the line in the guillotine and there's not in the regular, so whatever. We ended up losing in the regular by 1.7 points and winning in the guillotine by a little bit less than Swift's score. So
you hold on. A little bit less than Swift's score, which was
I believe it was like 22 points at the end of the day.
So you won by like 22 points. That's like a fair margin.
I needed him to play, and I needed him not to fumble the ball away with a low score, right?
Sure, yeah.
He needed to score some points.
Oh, I see.
To get out of the hole.
You just needed him to be a guy.
Well, as it turns out last week, I will read you off these things and then you guys can talk about your rosters or whatever. But as it stood, Baker Mayfield hit his projection. Then we got on this roster, Zay Flowers, Garrett Wilson, J.K. Dobbins, Cortland Sutton, and David Montgomery, who all pooped the bed. The only people keeping me... I'm going to send a freaking fruit basket to Devin Achin.
Oh, he showed up this weekend.
and DeAndre Swift not far behind him, and Tyler Warren. I literally won this week based on 4 players, but it was not a great week for most people. Looking around leagues in general, how did you all do?
Yeah, I did. I won, but it was a bad win against the team who has not won a game, and it didn't look good. Like,
yeah, that never feels good.
I won, but like, by 15 against a team that looked like it was projected for 40 or something.
Oh my!
Like, this dude has been devastated by injuries. He's like, he had Joe Burrow like right at the beginning of the year. Then he had Omari and Hampton recently, and Brock Bowers and Quentin Johnston, and
just the list goes on.
Yeah, he had a hole in his RB slot this week because if he dropped someone who was coming back, it was going to be like a big name player. And it's just like, okay, man, brutal. And I only beat him by like 20 points when he was projected for like 40, which is sad. That's sad.
Oof. Ouch. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, I was projected way more than I ended up. I think the buys last week weren't really that bad, but this week the buys hit all the teams that had good matchups for people, and there were just like not a lot of great matchups out there. Even the good matchups ended up being bad. Like the Giants showed up, the Jets showed up.
The Giants showed up big, and the Jets like defense like murdered that other team. Their offense sucked, but it didn't matter because their defense was the thing people had been counting against, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Michael, did you manage to get your game off?
So I split this week. I had Fields as my starting quarterback in both leagues, so that'll tell you the hole that I was starting in.
That's bad.
That didn't go well for you.
So you know what? Here was part of the difference. I won in the league where Fields was the only player that I had. I lost in the league where I had started Mason as a handcuff.
Huh.
Because with Fields doing so badly, Mason had almost 0 points. He may as well have not been on the field.
Wow.
But yeah, I squeaked out a win by like 1.1 points, something like that. And then the other one, I surprisingly only lost by 7. And part of that was because Bijan Robinson decided to have a career day on Monday night.
I watched a team in the Guillotine League go from on the cut with me, right? Like 3 people were vying for getting cut this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bijan Robinson showed up, and I think now he's in second place.
Yeah.
It was a crazy score that dude ran up. It was wild.
Almost 33 points.
Yeah, they did not get cut. Well,
yeah.
So who did get cut though, Andy?
Yep. Here we go. Here we go. Let's give us the.
All right, on the block. We'll go through the baddies first, and we'll end with the goodies. All right. RJ Harvey's on the block. Blake Corum's on the block. Bryce Young's on the block. Sorry, Michael, but he's a baddie.
That's correct. I'm not going to argue.
Ramondre Stevenson's on the block. Bucky Irving's not a baddie, but may not play for more and more weeks.
Yeah,
he probably won't play until the 10th week.
Here's what you do with him. You leave him on the waivers because he's still not playing.
I don't think he's going to play.
If he was playing, you would absolutely pay money for him, but he's not.
Sure. We're starting to get into the maybes here. Jordan Mason, Tony Pollard, Jacoby Myers, Stephon Diggs, Michael Pittman, and Njoku's a no because he's injured and Fanning went off.
Njoku's definitely a no.
Trayvon Henderson, New England running backs are never to be trusted.
Correct.
Jalen Warren.
I would pick up Diggs before I would pick up him.
Yeah. Jalen Warren, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Woo-wee.
All right. That's legit.
Jamar Chase.
Oh.
So, okay.
Bo Nix is the last person.
So, I don't, you have Baker. I don't know that you need Nix. I think Chase is worth it. With Flacco throwing in the ball, he put up like decent numbers, right?
I got to throw a wrinkle on
they're only going to tick upwards as they play more together.
Wrinkle. I do have T. Higgins. Is he a good enough? We have Jamar Chase at home.
What numbers did he put up last week?
Just 11.
What did Chase do?
In this league, Chase put up 25.
That feels like a pretty good upgrade.
Yeah. So then I guess the question is, who's your other wide receivers? Because you probably don't want to play both of them.
Here we go. Here's the roster. T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, Cortland Sutton, Garrett Wilson injured possibly for weeks, Zay Flowers on bye and not doing great without Lamar. That's it. Oh, no, Mike Evans, who's still questionable, probably won't play before the bye, maybe. Oh, they said he might be back in practice this week.
I bet he still doesn't play.
Yeah.
Because their bye is next week, right?
No, they got what week is this? 7? So 8 and 9. Their bye is 2 weeks away.
Oh. All right. Well, maybe they would bring him back.
They might load him up maybe if he's feeling
limited, possibly, right? So you got to be worried about that.
I can't play him the first week, that's for sure.
So here's the thing. Your wide receivers, no offense, you don't have I
don't have a superstar.
Yeah, you need a superstar now. It's time. Your roster should have superstars now.
And
so you either want to go for Amon-Ra or Chase, and I don't think you could attempt both.
No. Amon-Ra, the Lions have not looked great.
The problem that the Lions have had, right, is the 2 games ago, as a Jahmyr Gibbs owner, let me tell you about the problems with the Lions, although as a Montgomery owner, you probably know also. 2 games ago, their run was so strong that they didn't bother throwing it very often, right? And this last game, their run wasn't strong either, but they also couldn't throw it, and then they got destroyed.
Yes, correct. Also, no penalties on the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think Jamar Chase is the only person I'm really staring at here. Jordan Mason, it does not seem like
I think your running backs are pretty good, though, right? You have,
let's see,
you have Montgomery, you have Swift. Like, those are both RB1s, even if they're not like 1+s, you know?
I got Devin Achen, J.K. Dobbins, DeAndre Swift. I know you don't like him, but he's an RB1. Ken Walker.
Yeah.
David Montgomery.
But I think you're playing like Achane and
Dobbins and Swift.
Yeah, every week at this point. So, like, unless one of these guys is better than those guys, like, I don't know. You know, you can get them for cheap, like, maybe, you know. You know what? Here's the deal with these running backs that are out there right now. If no one picks them up, go grab them next, the day after.
Yeah. Pick them up and throw them on the roster.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're getting to the point that we don't spend $1 anymore, though. You know.
Well, unless you want Chase. Chase isn't going to go for no money.
I'm saying like the dollar pickups are kind of done.
Yeah, because either you're going to get them or you're not, and like it's going to sit on your bench, and that's actually no points to you, right? So the question is, how much money do you have, and how much are you willing to throw away on Chase? Because it has to be a lot.
It's going to have to be a lot. We should do this and then move on to the next thing. So, fab remaining for me, 422. There are people with more money than me, 600, 700. There's 3 teams with more money than me, 7 teams left. I don't know how much we can afford to throw down, but it's going to have to be nearly a lot of it.
I wonder, do you try and get Amon-Ra for cheap? Hope everyone else blows their money on Chase and then pick up some of the leavings and see if you can survive another week while hoarding your money?
I'm currently projected, as every week this season has been, second to last in projection.
Living dangerously.
I have been within the bottom 3 all season.
Yeah. Is there a better quarterback out there, maybe, at this point, too?
I mean, look, man, Baker is solid.
Is he putting up 20 a week, though? You need 20 a week.
23, 19, 23, 30, 23.
All right, so yes.
And he's got Detroit and New Orleans next.
And those are, well, Detroit maybe not, but New New Orleans is a plus matchup for sure.
If you can get there.
If I can get there, yeah. After the bye is definitely a maybe we need to find somebody with Buffalo, New England, and the Rams on the roster.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think your options are either you go cheap on Amon-Ra and like hope to pick up some extra scraps and squeak it out another week, or you blow big money on Chase and hope you get him. Because the problem is, if you don't get him, you're still going to need to pick up people because, like you got to upgrade the roster. But I don't know that any of these other dudes are worth money.
I don't know where the upgrade is. Yeah. Mike Evans, if he can play, is an upgrade.
For sure. For sure.
But I don't know that you can. Yeah, you're gambling because it's coming out the first week. It could be limited. And then you're like, dang it.
We're close to the point where you have to stop looking at floor and start looking at upside on these guys. Like,
that's true.
I don't know there's not that many people left in your league at this point. We're not quite ready to like fully gamble on like you just need dudes that are going to get touchdowns every week.
Mm-hmm.
But you're getting close.
Yeah.
It's like a guy that gets you like 8 points with no TDs is bad now, right?
Yeah. I do know T is not probably the answer, right? He seems to have a ceiling, and the ceiling is 11 points.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because he's very good. Like, and if Burrow was playing, that dude would be a monster. But
yeah, but Flacco's not going to be able to feed everybody.
Exactly. I think Flacco is going to feed Chase, and you get a limit with Higgins.
Yeah. All right, that's our game plan. I will mull it over. And unless we have more Rantasy Football, I think it's time to hear about the Steam Next Fest. Because I don't know what to play next, JJ. What could we do?
Well, are you interested in Necrons, Andy?
Never my favorite faction, but do like the lore. Is that weird?
No.
Okay. I feel like game-wise, Michael, Necron is a 40k faction.
Yes. Okay.
Warhammer 40k. And they're space skeleton people. Somewhat tertiarily Egyptian.
Yeah, I would say, tertiarily is right there. Yeah.
In the game world, they were too hard to kill, and then they could just stand back up again.
They still do that.
So it was a little unfair, I think. Make them easier to kill, maybe, but
the rules at our time were broken, and they were bad. But in more modern 40k, apparently it's less insane.
Okay.
But I don't play modern 40k, so I don't really know the deal.
This happens to me a lot, and it probably happens to you guys too. But sometimes the gameplay of something takes me out of liking the thing. You know what I mean? Like, their lore is fun and kind of interesting and like fits into the 40k universe in a weird way, unlike the Tau, which is kind of like, well, we're adding them to the universe, so they're being added, versus like the Necrons might be the Omnissiah.
Sure, yeah.
Like that's interesting and cool for the universe. And then you like see them on the table and you're like, So
Andy, do you also like the Adeptus Mechanicus?
I have never played against them. They weren't a faction when I was still playing the tabletop.
They weren't a thing in our time, right?
Yeah, I do like the lore of the Mechanicus, yes.
Do you like games that are kind of like XCOM?
Yeah, we're going well here. We're doing all right.
Well, let me tell you about Warhammer 40k Mechanicus 2.
Oh.
A Steam Next Fest demo that is out right now.
Mechanicus 2, okay.
I didn't play Mechanicus 1, so I have no answers for anyone or anything about that, but I saw this and I clocked it and it looked cool.
Yeah, I would clock this. This looks fun.
The two factions they talk about are the Mechanicus and the Necrons. There's two campaigns, apparently.
One for each, sure.
But the intro, the part that's the demo, you're switching back and forth between both, so you kind of get a little flavor of both of them.
Okay.
And it's not quite XCOM. I want to be clear, it's not exactly the same thing.
Is that less hard?
I don't know. I think the battles themselves individually are shorter, but
Oh,
there's like an
that's nice.
RPG component to this where like
upgrades and stuff.
yeah, but also like your troops and their health carry from mission to mission.
Oh,
So like when you take damage on a guy, they might still be damaged in the next fight depending on how long the things go on, you know?
is that a story tie-in situation? Like we're
Yeah, it's
running
all like
into this room and we're running into that
totally.
room.
Absolutely. There's like that's like the RPG component, right? And then
Uh-huh.
in between you'll be like, "Oh, you see a big door with a symbol on it. What do? Do you try to unlock the door, or do you blow it open?" Right? Like that kind of stuff.
Depends on where we are, I guess. But Michael, you could probably guess that if you're in a Necron tomb, the answer would be no.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, so and then those have repercussions, right? It's like, oh, you did this, you get +1 whatever, or oh, you did this, you get +1 to a different thing, or -1 to a different thing.
Is it like a tactical game mixed with a pen and paper RPG?
Kind of. The battles themselves, when you actually like run into enemies or whatever, it's a grid-based battle. You know, it's a grid-based system. Your guys have abilities. They can move X number of squares. They all have hit points. But you know, the hit points are like 8 or 4 or whatever. We're not talking like 47 or whatever.
Sure,
Sure.
but everybody in 40K's got 1,000,000,000 armor, so
Right. Your main character has like a shield or some kind of an armor thing or whatever, but it's not really like the values are low. Your gun does 1 to 3 damage.
sure.
But it's grid-based tactical kind of battle system. You move your pieces around. You take actions to shoot at them. You get +1 damage if you do this thing or that thing or whatever. Right.
Mhm.
And then, the results of that battle are good or bad, and you carry forward the results to the next and future battles in this place as part of the mission that you're on or whatever.
Like this.
I don't know. What is this?
I like the
Where
sound
it's
of
going.
this.
Oh,
He
okay.
likes where it's going.
I thought you were saying like this ?
Oh, no. I like this.
Yeah. So it was really interesting. And then, you play a little bit as the Mechanicus side, and then you flip over and you play a little bit as the Necron side, and they have, different opinions and different goals and very different units. You get to see some of those.
right.
Meanwhile, you're getting cutscenes in between of the people talking, and it seems like a cool game. I'm interested. I like a good grid-based RPG kind of thing.
Sure.
So I'm cool. I'm interested to see how it goes.
Nice.
Very cool.
Did you try anything in the next goal?
I have not tried anything yet. I do have my eye on a couple of things. Namely that on top of the list is that Marvel game.
What's the Marvel game? I'm sorry, I'm out of the loop a little bit.
It is Marvel. What is it? Cosmic Invasion, which looks like an old school arcade. Think like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the X-Men arcade games, just with modernized graphics.
Oh, okay.
So you're beating up swarms on the screen to move to the next screen.
A beat 'em up, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But it looks good. It looks pretty polished. They've got a pretty good cast of different Marvel heroes to choose from that you can play as. So it looks like there's a lot of fun combat and hopefully some good replayability as you switch to different characters.
I looked at this very quickly. I see a bunch of characters I recognize, like Spider-Man, Captain America, Storm,
She-Hulk, Rocket, Wolverine. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, I know you haven't been idle though.
No. So I fired up something new because I got a notification that it had just released this week, and I was like, you know what, I want to play something new. This looks like a fun riff on a type of game that I am always down to play, and I downloaded a game called Shrines Legacy.
Shrines Legacy?
Yes.
Where did you find this? What black market did you walk through?
I want to say I saw this one in one of the rapid fire segments on a Nintendo Direct. I think that's where I came across this one.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. It looks a lot like Secret of Mana.
It does look very 16-bit.
Mm-hmm. And it's the magic and the character swapping plays the same way, right? You start out, your main character starts out with a single element and their sword, right? And there's a secondary character that you can swap back and forth between who is more heavily a magic user than a melee combat unit, right? And as the game progresses, you unlock each successive element, and you can scroll through the elements. Just on the trigger buttons, and so you're casting different spells that have varying effects, offense, defense, manipulating the environment, kind of thing. But it seems like it looked like a good throwback to SNES style games, and it was fun. I played maybe 45 minutes of it. And it was entertaining. So I'll probably play some more of it. I got far enough to get through the first dungeon, which was good. Got a second element, so I have ice and fire now, and can play and do some fun things with those.
This game looks pretty sweet. I'm putting this on my wish list.
Yeah. So it's on because it just dropped. It's on sale right now. It's 20% off, I think. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw it in a direct and thought this looks like something fun, something that would be good to play on the deck, because it's not going to be super graphical or power hungry or space intensive. And yeah, it's been good so far.
Cool.
And you can play it co-op the same way that you could with Secret of Mana.
Oh.
So I don't know if it's online co-op. I imagine it's probably local.
That's an old school way to play co-op, man.
Yeah.
It's a lost art.
It is, especially it's shared screen co-op.
Yeah.
So rather than each of you, so I imagine it's got to be local.
Sorry,
right?
That's what I meant by that's an old school way to play co-op.
Yes.
I don't know how many.
It says it supports remote play together, so I think it would
there you
support
go.
online.
Oh yeah, I see that now.
But is remote play together local network or is it online?
No, you can do online.
It's online.
Oh. So it must just mirror the screens and try to approximate
in
your
real
movement.
time. Yeah.
Huh. Wow. I attempted to join you guys in playing a game this week.
Emphasis on
Netflix.
attempted.
Netflix saw otherwise as an option. They said, "Why don't you get stuffed?" Their games thing. I know that it's RIP kinda, but I thought it was still active in some ways, right? Like I think it's still available. They're just not making new games for it, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, but they've also started removing a lot of the big stuff off there, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I tried to play the what is that? Shovel Knight Pocket through their system.
Yeah, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. I used their thing to play that also.
Yeah,
a while ago.
And I remembered that, and I thought, you know what, JJ said he enjoyed that. I was in need of a game. I was going to try it, and then they were like, "But what if it just didn't work?" And I said, "Oh, that's kind of a bummer." I don't know what's going on with it. Their system seems to be kind of broken with the login thing. I don't know if they're going to still keep playing games, but
I don't know how it works on iDevices, but I know on Android, you can't just go download it from the store. You have to go through Netflix.
Yes.
And then Netflix gives you like a special link, and you can download it from that.
Yes. That's kind of how it works. Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty strange. So I did that, and then they were like, "Hey, you got to log into Netflix." And then I put in the stuff, and then it's like, "No, that's not your password." Like, I'm pretty sure it's working fine on the other things that I put this password into. So I think you're not working. So we'll try again.
Were you logged into the Netflix app with the
Yeah,
same
dude.
credentials? That's so weird.
Yeah. Same device, even. Kind of wild, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I have no clue either. Hopefully it gets fixed because I have not been playing as much Magic the Gathering, JJ. I do like that deck we built. It is enjoyable, but I find myself barely making the dailies situation. Still having a lot of fun making paper decks. But I don't know if I'm getting affected by the online reaction to things or if it's just like I'm not feeling as much drama as the Final Fantasy drop, That made me play a lot. And as much as I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it just isn't something that I was like jonesing for.
Yeah,
And
I
so
mean
the
the next
news
one
is kind of
is
slow, right? The next one is not, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I
right.
guess.
It's your Avatar, the Airbender.
Something I am excited about, actually. But as with every other set in the last couple of weeks, months, or whatever that I've been paying attention, they're advertising the next one before the current one even releases.
Yeah, I mean they have so many coming. There's like no way they can all be. Yeah,
And they've got a bad
there
lineup with all these Comic-Cons, right? They needed to announce Spider-Man at Comic-Con. They needed to announce Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at New York Comic-Con, and bad lineups for when to announce things.
I wouldn't be surprised if next Comic-Con you're hearing about Star Trek, right?
Yeah, which will be 2 sets away from that Comic-Con.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be wild. Because the 2 sets in between will be in-universe sets, and they're gonna get skipped over for Comic-Con.
Or I guess there's The Hobbit also somewhere in between there, so it could be either one of those.
True. I think the game's still fun, and I think the sets that are coming are cool. I even think TMNT is gonna be kind of interesting. Hopefully it doesn't get as cold a reception as Spider-Man it seems to be getting. I don't know that it is. I'm not paying enough attention, but the few creators I follow are kinda like meh.
I think the Spider-Man set is like extremely underwhelming for a lot of reasons, right? It's like the set has the feeling of a thing that was cobbled together, and you can feel it in the cards, right? There's like some cards that are really cool and awesome and interesting and fun, and then there's a bunch of cards that are like, we're also here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they were talking on some of them. It's like, did they mean to do a Through the Spider-Verse thing? Or is Through the Spider-Verse just there to have extended the set, right? Like,
Bingo.
was Arachne originally going to be a card, or was that just like a find more spider people?
Yeah. So I don't know. Obviously, I'm not here to. They're not here to tell us.
Yeah. No, and they wouldn't.
But at least the only blessing for this is that the TMNT set was designed from the beginning to be the size that it is.
Yeah, weird
The
that it's
Spider-Man
only
one
one
was
commander
not.
deck.
But like
one deck. Like, why no Kang?
I'm not playing Commander. I don't care. Like you bring up the Commander deck constantly, and I don't care. I don't care about a Commander. I just don't.
I know you don't care, but like it's hard for me to get you to care about the other set or the other. It's interesting. Magic's so weird, Michael. Because
in what way?
Okay, but you and I could be playing like if you and I were playing Portal 2,
Okay,
right? And like
we do.
like we have done in the past or whatever. Pick a game, but like you could in some of those games be like, well, I like the single player, and the other person would be like, well, I'm really in it for the multiplayer. That's kind of the divide, right?
Yep.
Now picture like any other game that has multiplayer subdivided into like, well, they've got King of the Hill and they've got Capture the Flag and they've got, kill, like most kills, and they've got this and that and the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Magic like gets down into that minutia of like, well, I care about this format, that format, and that format, and you care about this format and that format. And since we care about different formats, we don't care about the same cards at all. Like, I do care more about other formats, JJ, like Pauper, and I don't know if you watched that video on Value Vintage, but that seems
that sounded
fascinating.
cool. Yeah,
That
sounded cool.
seems really cool.
The difference is I don't want to own paper cards.
Yeah, that's true.
And you seem to want that for some reason.
I don't want to own a lot of paper cards, but I would like to play paper Magic with some people once in a while. And so having some cards that I can just open up and play with people seems fun. I have been playing paper Magic, so it's not
That's
like
good.
it's not like an impossible thing for me to run into. Controlling myself is going to be the thing to do, right? And that's why I've been having fun making the decks online and not buying all the decks. But yeah, it's funny, Michael. Like, what if you and I were playing Portal and you're like, yeah, but I only want to play levels where you use the orange gun, I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
I don't have a good example of like, well, when Jay just says I don't care about the commander cards, and it's like, yeah, but like half the people playing Modern Warfare want to play the multiplayer.
I mean, more than half. I think at this point, Commander is like the vast majority of Magic people. The difference is I'm interested in playing Standard. I'm interested in playing formats on Magic Arena because that's the thing I get to engage with, right?
Yeah.
I don't get to play paper with people. I don't have a group of friends I could just go play Magic with, right?
Yeah.
And I would love to play games of Magic with you, Andy, but like that happens twice a year, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
we gotta get something
can't-
out of that, huh?
Can't justify spending that kind of money. So,
Yeah.
I am interested in how it affects the games that I play and whether it's going to affect, historic and timeless and standard and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? Like one card will make an impact on Pauper. One card will make an impact on Vintage, maybe.
Right.
Uh,
usually you'll get like one or two that are interesting in historic or timeless, right? Maybe you'll
Sure.
get one that's interesting in, those kind of formats. But
what to me was more interesting about the Commander quote and why I keep bringing up Commander decks is it tells you the focus they have on these products, right? And Commander being the most popular and Commander being a huge inroad to people playing the game that don't play the game because they can go walk into a store and say, I want to play as Spider-Man in the Magic game my friends play. Here's the box. Was a huge seller for Final Fantasy and other universes beyond sets. And like not having the ability in Spider-Man at all and not having the ability in Avatar at all, and then TMNT having half the ability, so you could walk in and buy one TMNT deck, but not the villains version. Fascinating to me from a design perspective of what they're thinking about when they make the set. Less so, I care about it because I want commander cards.
I just think I have no understanding for what they are or aren't doing with Avatar. That doesn't make any sense to me. At least from the TMNT angle, right? If you're like a fan of the Turtles, do you want to have to choose between Leonardo and Raphael and Donatello and Michelangelo and whatever, right? Like you
No,
want
but
all
why
of
is
them.
there
So it makes
no
sense to make the
those bad-
5-color one.
Yeah, why not have the baddies in the other deck?
Because that deck's going to sell like a third as much.
Yeah, but Bebop and Rocksteady have no home.
There's a Bebop and Rocksteady card already previewed. It fits in the 5-color deck. There's no problems.
Yeah, that's true. It's just a little awkward.
I see where you're coming from like the flavor standpoint, but
Yeah.
I think the bigger win is that the person who's the fan of the Turtles wants to have all the Turtles in one deck, and this is the sensible way to do that, right?
Makes a lot of sense. Yes. Uh-huh. I really do mean I just see where they're designing commander decks and where they're not as a weird barometer of how they feel about the product or what they might be required to do.
Yeah,
It's weird.
I think the like bigger and more like concerning thing is that they're designing these small sets, right?
Small sets to go into standard and
it
make
wasn't-
small splashes in the pool of standard.
I mean, I'm here. It's just that it's
Oh,
not.
there you are.
My microphone appears to have died.
Oh,
That's not good.
The light on it isn't on. I don't know what to do.
USB.
I'm using the headset mic now, which sounds.
Did the USB port go out?
I mean, it shouldn't have, but maybe
Huh.
it did. I don't know. I can't
I'm try
troubleshoot
swapping.
this in the middle of the thing.
Yeah. We can troubleshoot it later. Do you want to just push that mic as close to your face as you can?
I mean, I can.
That's
Like that?
way better. Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back, JJ.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know
No,
where
it's
I
okay.
stopped in the.
You're good. You were talking about this small set design, and I was going to reply that it's interesting to make such small drops into the standard pool instead of big drops like they normally do. It's going to be kind of like a trickle into standard more than
No,
you know,
because
big
there's
splash.
like 9 sets, right? That's the thing you're missing. Is they just can't like. They're adding so many cards that it doesn't matter if the sets are big or small, because there's 6 other sets happening that are going to fill it with tons of cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the concern is that when you're getting these IPs in that don't have a ton of world building or interesting stuff, like how many cards can you make out of just Spider-Man? Right? How many cards can you make just out of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Yes, there's a lot of comics, there's many characters there, but the world isn't as expansive as like the Lord of the Rings, which is a universe, or the Star Trek, which has a billion, worlds going on in it, right?
Yeah, Star Trek's going to be exciting. If that's a small set, I'll be somewhat sad because, I heard somebody say like, "Oh, how much Star Trek could there really be?" It's like, what? Like they have spaceships in this game now. You could just do a whole set of ships.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the concerning thing is they're being like, oh, well, these IPs are small. We have to make small sets. And then going like, well, but they also have to be big enough to be standard. And then it's like, well, we have to fill out 300 cards, even though all of them suck. And that's the problem.
Okay, so maybe they're not going to do that.
I don't know, man.
What's a small set versus a big set, right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't have that answer. But the interesting fact that I saw was that someone said when they created the modern format way back, 15 years ago or whenever that was,
Yeah.
it went back to a certain date, right?
Oh. Uh-huh.
I don't know what date that was that they said like this was the beginning of the modern format.
Uh-huh.
At that time and back to that original date, there are less cards in modern at that time, at the creation of modern, than there are in standard right now.
That's wild.
And so it was like, that was like an 8 or 10 year period or something. It was like a lot of years. Right? And right now in standard, there are, 2,700 or whatever the number was. I don't remember. Like a lot of cards, more than they had in modern at that time. And it's going to get bigger as the next year goes on. When there are 7 sets, there were less sets this year.
Oh, are they going to have to do another break and be like pre-modern, post-modern, new modern? Like, do they need another break in all these things again?
I mean, Pioneer is that break, right?
Oh, shoot. I didn't know there was so modern has stopped and Pioneer's the new break?
No, modern continues, right? Modern goes back to that original date.
Okay, Pioneer
starts
stops
at a earlier or a later time.
So pre-modern, Pioneer, modern?
Or it's legacy, right?
Oh, legacy. What's pre-modern?
I don't know.
Oh.
I assume that's a thing, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many freaking formats, man. Standard, modern, legacy, vintage, pioneer. What's the difference between vintage and legacy? Vintage is everything?
Yeah, I think vintage is the thing that doesn't have
It never
bans.
stops, right?
Right. It's
Has-
restricted, not
It
bans.
has restricted cards and goes
and
forever.
Legacy has bans.
Oh, okay. Man. Oof. My brain. Also my body. We're gonna talk about. We were talking about making splashes in the pool. We have started an adulting thing here with the pool, you guys.
The repairs in underwork, brought in the professionals.
The professionals have begun. I have added a new water line through my garage. The electricians are coming to do some work. And a friend of the pod, Matt, and I have been working a jackhammer to get concrete out of the way for about 4 days now.
How's that going?
We're not young anymore, guys.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I get tired quick. I keep going, because I've been this tired before. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
but I feel like I probably could have gotten longer before getting tired.
In the past.
In the past, yes. It's fascinating, the amount of work that's going to have to go into this, and then also just getting debris out of the way to start over on something is kind of crazy. I know you did a bunch of work along the side of your house there, JJ, but
Mhm.
this is like half our backyard on a quarter acre, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a big pool you had back there. But like
Yeah.
what is the plan here? You just making a different size, different shape pool
Yeah,
or
so the suggestion that we landed on is to leave the pool shape intact, to add what they call a Baja shelf into the pool.
I don't know what that is.
It is a large platform. Michael, you've seen one of these?
I think so. I think I know what you're talking about.
You can kind of like sit on it. It creates like a very shallow end, like 14 inches deep.
Okay.
It's for like sitting on and hanging out on and lounging on and putting chairs on, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
it's so
a
that you're just in the water, right? It's super
barely
shallow.
touching, yeah, barely
Yeah.
touching the
Okay.
water. Um, you put umbrella sleeves in it so you can stick some umbrellas in the water if you want to.
Hmm.
It's like a hangout area right next to your shallow end so that you can kind of like people could stand in the water next to it. Very fascinating. No spa. We still will not have a spa. Way, way, way too much money.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Mhm.
We may eventually add one up top. You know what I mean? One of those
Sure.
separate situations. But yeah, and then we got to rearrange kind of like you did with your backyard there, JJ, adding kind of like a more of a barbecue area and redoing all the broken up concrete. I don't know if you remember, but basically every piece of concrete back there was cracked.
I didn't, but okay, I believe you.
Uh, yeah, and it's gonna need to most of it come out anyway to get all the new plumbing in there because most, if not all, of the plumbing that is in the pool is cracked and leaking.
Hmm.
Turns out copper gives out over time, especially when outdoors, just buried in the dirt.
Interesting.
Yeah, not not the best material to have done the water lines in, I guess, for outdoors. Copper in the house tends to last quite a long time.
I guess elements, right?
Yeah, I mean, stuff in
Crazy.
the dirt and soil and stuff like that creates little leaks, and then pools work on suction and vacuum pressure, so little leaks are big problems.
That part makes
S-
sense to me.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to redo all that, and the thing was designed 50 years, 60 years ago. The way that pools work is not the same.
Right, the tech is different now. Yeah.
Tech is different, but also the understanding of like you don't just like drop it in there with one return line and one drain line and hope that it circulates
Doesn't get clogged or
thousands and thousands and thousands of gallons of water.
break down. Yeah.
You know, that just doesn't fly anymore. They look at it and they're like, yeah, well, you need like a lot more flow of water here. So the redesigning all that stuff has been interesting, fun, expensive, and scary. And the stress of that is nice to work out with a jackhammer.
There you go.
It's going to be a new fit, get fit. But yeah, that'll be hopefully, hopefully done before the winter really begins. But I'm sure by next summer we will have a nice little lounge for you all to enjoy. We can do another one chip challenge. My kids have been asking to see it.
Nope. Your kids can do it.
Hard pass.
Go ahead and give that to them.
I think this is literal child abuse. I don't think that's allowed.
They ask for it. It's not abuse. This is a
JJ.
FAFO situation.
Yeah, JJ, I don't know if you want to roll that one back and try that again.
Nah, man. Nah. The kids want to do this. This is a reap and sow
reap and sow situation.
Learn that your actions have consequences, kids.
How about just learn from our mistakes?
Don't say things you don't mean.
Post to be or reap and sow situation. I don't know which one to go with. Oh boy. Well, anyway, hopefully we can piece your audio together there, JJ. And if not, people can imagine what we said. How about that? This is why we record with a backup. If people want to know what you said, where would they email it, Michael?
They could get at us at podcast@weweregamers.com. You can also find us on Facebook and on Blue Sky at We Were Gamers. And you should go check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@weweregamers.
Keep it here for all your pool-related information and updates. I'm sure it will be fascinating.
Undoubtedly.